Welcome back to the Empowered Learning Podcast. I'm your host, Andy Bennetts, and today I'm diving into the powerful intersection of mindset, money, and meaning with the incredible Chella Diaz. Chella is a money mindset coach, spiritual entrepreneur, and wealth strategist who spent years helping entrepreneurs, especially women, own their value, rewire old beliefs, and build wealth with confidence and purpose. In this episode, we talk about the energy of money, how early money messages shape our decisions, and how to shift into alignment with your worth, financially, personally, and spiritually. Whether you're building a business, leading a team, or rethinking your relationship with money, this conversation is going to shift something inside you. Let's jump in. Hello, Chella. How are you today?
I am wonderful, and I'm delighted to be here.
I am too. We've had many conversations, but this has been kind of a long time coming to get you on the podcast. So I'm so excited that we finally get to do this. What a fun way to kind of wrap up my year. I got lots of podcasts in the queue, but I think this is my last one that I'm recording of the year, and it's just going to be a phenomenal kickoff to our 2026. So thank you for giving me a little bit of your time, and I'm very excited for our conversation.
So am I. What magic we're going to create here, Andy.
I love it. Magic we're going to create. Let's dive right in, because we've got, as we were talking before we started, we have lots of different avenues that we want to pursue here. So let's just dive right in here. In your work, you emphasize the energy of money. Can you describe what that means, and how someone can tell if their energy around money is supporting or limiting them? What do you think?
Oh, I gotta say this to the audience: we did not practice this, and I love it, right? Because this is how you get to know.
There you go.
The energy of money to me, it has been, and I've been doing this for over 20 years, is that we all had an experience around money, whether it was we can't afford it, you have to work hard, whatever that was as a child, and we carry that with us to our adult life.
Right.
That's the energy. What are we carrying with us that are going to, and that's when I say it's, you take, and we can all shift it, but first we have to become aware of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very good. I have a good buddy that says you cannot tame what you cannot name. So you must start with knowing what it is, where it is, what does that mean, and then you can start addressing it. So I completely agree that it starts with identifying what it is, and then what do we want to do about it. So
Yeah.
I love it. So how about that second part of that? How can someone tell if their energy around money is either supporting or limiting? What does that look like?
It looked really good. How do you, and this is going to be for some of you may not do this, but how do you talk about money?
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
When the monthly obligations show up, are you dreading doing it, or are you happy and grateful that you have the funds in order to meet your obligations?
Yeah. Okay.
Right. When you talk about money, do you still say to yourself, I can't afford it? Or do you say, I want that, I don't need it, I want it, I want to see how I can fit that into my spending plan?
Okay. There you go.
I don't believe in the B word. I don't believe in the budget word.
I love it. That's good. Well, we might have to touch on that one a little bit later too, but I understand your reasoning as to why you don't prescribe to that specific word, because there's a lot of hangups around budgeting. It feels limiting. It feels restrictive and that kind of stuff. I had posted a while ago this idea of it's exactly what you just said. Rather than asking, can I afford it? Ask, what do I need to do to be able to afford it? And I'm sure you've done this. You throw little, what we feel is our nuggets, and like, oh, this is such a good thing. And so many people are going to like it and comment on this, and just crickets. Nobody wanted to bite on that one, which I thought was interesting, because it's like, it is, to your point, it's a mindset shift. Okay. Not everybody is in the same spot where they're ready to make that mindset shift. But I found that very interesting. Do you have any comments on that?
Oh, I'm glad you asked, because that goes to people are not, because personally, and I'm not saying I would do this now, but I've seen so many people, they're not going to make a comment. They're not going to like that post because that's going to be a reflection on me.
Ooh, okay. Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That's huge, right? It's great content, but
Right, right, right.
oh my God, people are going to think that I agree, disagree. It doesn't matter. But maybe it's back on me. It's like, what are going to people think about me because I liked your comment or I agree with your comment?
Yeah.
So it's go back, it goes back to, for me anyways, it goes back to, what are some of those limiting beliefs that were
hmm
gifted to us
Okay.
by the adults as we were growing up?
I love that word gifted because I'm guessing there's listeners out there that are like, yeah, my mom and dad did not gift me with a very positive mindset about this. So I know you, that was a very purposeful choice to use the word gifted. Tell me why you use gifted.
Well, because it's gifted, right? Because if you think, and I'm not saying that I felt this my whole life. That trust me, there's been a lot of work around this,
Right.
so you're benefiting from that. Because if you think about it as a gift, let's
Okay.
think about let's think about that outfit or that necklace or whatever it is that somebody gives you. If you
Okay.
don't like it, you don't
hmm
have to take it,
Interesting. Okay.
right? And there's a lot of people I know that they're well-meaning and
Mm.
they think, oh, this is great, and it's great, it's their taste. Doesn't mean I have to take it. Doesn't make me, the B word, or it doesn't make it's just that it's
hmm
not my taste. I would not wear that. But when you think about it as a gift, then just re-gift it,
There
right?
you
You
go.
don't have to keep it. It's okay for you to give it to somebody else. That's why I like the gift. It was a
Okay.
gift. Your parents, the adults in the household,
hmm
did the best that they could based on
Yes.
what they knew,
hmm
and they wanted to prepare you for the future, so they gifted you these
hmm
things. Doesn't mean we
Yeah.
have to keep them.
I love it. That's really, really good. And I've often thought that through my teaching career and then also as a parent is that I think we are quick to judge the not even the intentions, but the delivery or whatever that is of parenting. Like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they did that. Or I mean, or looking back, and I very much buck the idea of like victim mentality of like, the problems that I have right now are because of my parents. I don't prescribe to that. I understand that people have things to work through. I'm not a I'm not kind enough probably to be a counselor on that side of things. But this idea that to your point, you said it perfectly that your parents did the absolute best that they could. Is it, was it wonderful? Maybe not in every circumstance, right? But I think of like my dad. My dad, um, he didn't lose his birth father, but his birth father was not a part of his life. So there was a point where he didn't have a dad, and then he was adopted, and his adopted dad was kind of the quintessential 50s dad where you work and you pay the bills, but there's really no love, there's no affection, there's no reassurance that you're proud of them. It was just like, this is my job, that's what I do. So for him, I realize we're off the track a little bit here, but stay with me
But
here.
we're not really. This is really a good point. I love where we're going with this. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I
Because
was
this
gonna
is good.
say so. Um, and I loved my dad. He was a wonderful man. But he had to take what he learned, the gift that was given to him, to use your term, and I think that he didn't really repackage that gift. He wanted to improve it, right? So he improved that gift to give that to me. Was that the gift that I want to give to my boys? Not in every circumstance. Some definitely, right? But there were some things that I wanted to kind of tweak and improve a little bit before I handed that to my boys. But he did make substantial strides from his experience as being fathered as I am. So, anyways, I love that idea of it being a gift and just being aware of that and not beating people up for not being where you feel like they need to be because you don't know where they started.
And exactly, and the reason I think that's a perfect example is because again, I'm not saying that my childhood is necessarily the best compare, right? But that's when the comparison comes in. It's
hmm
about what did I learn from it,
Right.
and what am I taking? What is the good? What are my lessons that I'm moving forward with?
hmm Yeah. What am I taking and what am I leaving?
Yep. To be honest, Andy, I don't even think about what I'm leaving because I
Mm.
don't even want to give it energy. I just say,
Okay.
what's the wisdom I'm taking with me? Period.
Okay. I like that. That's really good. I'm going to erase that. We're not going to leave anything. We're going to either choose to take it
We're just
or
leaving. We're taking the wisdom, the
Mhm.
knowledge, we're taking our experience, which is going to allow us to do what we need to do our next chapter.
I love it. Very good. Very, very good. All right. So we, as I knew that we would, because we've had lots of fun conversations, and I want to talk a little bit about the networking app that kind of brought us together, but we're going to save that for a little bit later. But what that did is it helps us to kind of compact our message a little bit quicker, so we kind of get to the point, which I love. So we dove right into the deep end here, but let's um, peel back the curtain a little bit. And Chella, tell me a little bit about your upbringing and your journey thus far. Tell us what
Oh,
led to.
heavens. So we're going to make it really short. We're going to say this in 30 seconds. I was truly a curious child.
Okay.
At 8 years old, my dad said that girls have to have long hair.
Okay.
And so it was mandatory. And so I went out and I earned money. And one day when my dad got home, my hair was shorter.
Oh,
Right. But
okay.
right. And my mom was like, oh my God, look, your dad's gonna be. And my dad was like, since you seem to be so clever at this money thing, maybe
Hmm.
you need to start contributing to the household.
Uh-oh, watch out.
So that was 8 and 9 years old. I knew I used to go to the farmer's market and I knew how much money I needed to buy the things on my list. Now, let me
Okay.
get it. At 9 years old, I wasn't buying like big stuff. I was buying the fruits and vegetables.
Right.
But money has always made sense to me. I purchased my
Uh-huh.
first car when I was 17
Oh,
and my
wow.
first house when I was 23.
Wow. Okay.
Then we moved on to be, to marry, to have two children. I did the corporate job, which was amazing because I wanted to shift that mentality. I was a very active PTA mom.
Mm-hmm.
And so, right,
I
because
could see that in
I
you.
got a chance, I look at it as I got to live my childhood again
Oh,
with
yeah,
and do the things with my
sure.
kids that so I look at it, it was all truly learning. After during the very exciting, well, in my corporate job I was a real estate underwriter, and after that I was an account executive, which means I was a salesperson for mortgage loans.
Okay.
And then after that I was in charge of quality control, and one of my responsibilities was to file all of the suspicious activity reports, SAR for short, to the
Okay.
FBI.
Interesting.
So
Okay.
I got to, FBI was on my like speed dial. It was
Oh my
just,
gosh.
and I got to have an office from home. And so I pretty much taught my kids how to answer my phone professionally, just in
Okay.
case, right? It
Yeah,
was
yeah.
like, just in case, this is, and I remember my oldest son, one time he's like, the FBI is on the phone for you. So
I love it. That's pretty cool.
that was one of truly, that was a great conversation that
Yep.
also for them. So it's been truly an amazing journey. And I really truly enjoy one teaching, hosting
Hmm.
workshops so that I'm
Hmm.
able to share. You never know
Yeah.
where that one thing is going to allow people to shift where they are.
Mm. Right. Right. So from corporate America and Supermom and I love the teaching that you were curious and entrepreneurial, therefore you wanted to kind of pass that down to your kids. That's always kind of a fun story to kind of see how you experienced it, but again, what is the gift that you give to your kids? That's kind of super fun. You obviously got into coaching and that kind of stuff. So tell us a little bit about your coaching career and what it is that you do with folks to kind of help them break through.
Yeah, and I started my $1 million idea was to do financial literacy for high school students.
Okay. Yep.
So I started doing a lot of workshops, and then I published my book. And then I was invited to do the workshop for women.
Okay.
I reached out to my coach. I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? They want me to do this. And it was brilliant because he said, take the workshop that you do for the students
Hmm.
and take away 50% of it.
Oh, wow. Hey.
That was brilliant, right? I said,
Uh-huh.
but he's like, just follow, trust the process. And it was brilliant. And that's when I discovered, right? Because as a 18-year-old, 19-year-old, they don't have as much baggage.
Hmm.
as a 40-year-old or a 50-year-old.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So the same information was there. So I started doing workshops for women, and that was truly amazing. And that's when my coaching
Hmm.
program started, because after the workshop, women needed additional support.
Hmm. Okay.
That's not where I thought I was going to be. I truly thought I was going to do fundraisers at different schools with my
Uh-huh.
book and teaching, but I really truly enjoy just being able to help women, guide women so that they're talk about money, right? So
Mm.
that they feel comfortable speaking. We don't have to hide it.
Yeah.
And
Right.
no offense to the men, I have two sons, but when I found out is when I teach or women learn something, they're going to
Mm.
go out and share it. I'm not saying
Mm.
men don't, please, no hate mail here, but women tend to share a little bit
Yeah.
more.
Right.
That's all I'm going to say, right?
Yep.
And so to
Yep.
me, I feel that I'm still reaching out to those teens and to that next
Hmm.
generation
Hmm.
by working with women.
Okay. I love it. I love it. So I would imagine through your work with high school kids and now women and ongoing to every once in a while you'll slum it with the guys over here. I'm sure that you'll throw a bone, even though we're a little bit thicker skull. I can attest to that. But what is one limiting belief about money that you commonly come into to play and then what does that look like and how do you help people rewrite that?
And this is going to be huge, especially again, men or women. Men tend to have a better idea of just jumping in and asking for the money. They,
Okay.
from what I've seen, majority of
Sure.
men do that. But for women, is they forget all the experience,
Mhm.
knowledge that they bring to the table.
Okay.
Whether you're in the career and you wanted to get a promotion, whether you're in the career and you want to move, start your own side business, it doesn't matter. They feel because they're starting something new, they need to be at the lowest price point.
Mm.
And if you do nothing else, I want you to know that I say that being a mom prepared me to be the coach that I am today,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Because that was a skill set, and both of my
Absolutely.
kids say, I'm not saying, trust me, it's not that we didn't have issues or problems, but I gave them space to become who they wanted to become.
Hmm.
And I say, each one of you came in with different sets of rules. And my job was to see, what was those rules. But,
Hmm.
if you're starting a business or if you want to do something on the side, anybody, and women, especially for you, if you have a skill set
Hmm.
that's a second nature to you,
Mm.
second nature, I don't care
Okay.
what it is it doing a Canva graphic, is it creating a website, is it coaching, it doesn't matter. If it
Hmm.
comes second nature to you,
Okay.
please,
Hmm.
that does not mean people are not willing to pay
Mm.
big money for that, because it's your skill set, it's your second nature. Because it comes second nature to you, you can save a lot of time and money for others, and they are willing to pay big bucks for it. I just gave you that tip alone. I always like to put a price on it. That is your $3,500 tip. Because if you just take that into consideration, it's going to allow you to think about how much you're going to price or charge no matter where you are.
Hmm. I love it. Very good. How about the guys? Is there you mentioned, and I realize that most of the stuff that you're doing is working with women, but do they have a different one? Is that similar? What do you think?
No, unfortunately for the guys, it's not. For the guys, is sometimes, to be honest, is holding back,
Ah,
because
okay.
they tend to like overpromise. And I'm
Hmm.
not saying they don't deliver, but for
Hmm.
the men, it's more about talk less, do more.
Hmm.
And in a great way, and then hold them themselves accountable for doing
Hmm.
what they're going to say,
Right.
because they're busy and they tend to do a lot of things. They sometimes get away with, oh, I knew I was going to make those calls and I knew I was going to reach out to this person. I'll do it tomorrow. So to
Yeah.
me, it's
Right.
more about the accountability,
Hmm.
holding themselves accountable for doing the things they're going to do. Because I call that planting seeds. How many seeds are you going to plant that are going to blossom into money? So
Right.
it's accountability for men tend to be more. It's like, you say you're going to do 50 touches. How many did you actually do?
Hmm. Right. Yep. Yep. Valid. Valid. Valid.
Yeah.
Okay. Good stuff. Appreciate that.
There
Love
you
it.
go. That's the formula for men and women.
There you go. Perfect. Um, I'm not sure where the best place to jump into the Owl app is, but so I'm just going to do it right now. I feel like this is a good one here. There's much more that we could talk on the limiting beliefs and energy around money and that kind of stuff. I think there's more that we could do on that. However, because you and I met through this Owl app, and I think that we will uncover, I'm sure, all of the different ways that the stuff that around the energy of money and the stuff about connecting and networking kind of filters through, and this is a great avenue to do this. So I'm going to throw up the little Owl app here, but as you are so good at doing, can you give folks a little bit of the history behind Owl and kind of how you use this amazing tool?
Yeah, I'll definitely highly recommend it. And Andy, I would definitely highly suggest you share your code so people are able to join. Think about OWL as a three ways. You can use it for a lot of different things. We're not going to waste your time. You can use it to marketing tool. This is a place where you can call somebody, and this is how, right? Andy and I, we have conversations. You have initial 10 minutes to speak to somebody, right? In that 10 minutes, if you're rolling out a new tool, which is perfect with what we just talked about, is it a
Right.
new program that you're rolling out? Are you thinking of switching careers? Are you exploring different options? You can call somebody there and have a 10-minute conversation initially and
Mhm.
find out how can we help each other. And I love that because it's 10 minutes. We can say 5 minutes for you and five minutes for
Mhm.
them, right? So
Right.
it's a good way for you to practice. We all know about the 30-second, 1 minute elevator pitch. It's a great
Mhm.
opportunity for you to practice sharing what you do, sharing what you're thinking of doing, right? And getting some feedback immediate. So it's a great place to do some marketing. It's a great place to do some networking. And it's a great place to find and build relationships because you never know where that's going to lead you to.
Mhm.
And if you think it sounds too good to be true, as of this date, the app has been around for 5 years
Mhm.
and it just keeps growing because as people want that connection, right?
Right.
People are looking for, and the one for my ladies out there, what I love about this app is that we're not exchanging any personal information. So
Right.
I don't
Yep.
have their phone number, they don't have my phone number. And if I decide that this person was too pushy, was too salesy, what is whatever, I am able to block that person so they will never see my profile again. So
Yep.
that's a nice protection, right? Because there's a
Mhm.
lot of, because they'll never be able to connect. But
Mhm.
what if that connection leads to somebody putting together a webinar and then they go off to doing $60,000 in business, actual
Yeah.
revenue,
Right.
right? Which actually happened. These numbers are not made up. So it
Right.
could go in a lot of different directions.
Mhm.
So it's
So,
a phenomenal place. Give it a go.
yeah.
And
ab-
10 minutes, your initial 10-minute conversation, and you never know where that's going to lead.
Right. So for what it's worth, most folks start out at $1 for 10 minutes. So
Yes.
if you enter Empower when you register for the Owl app on the App Store, in any App Store, you will get $10 in free credit. So you have 10 10-minute calls, so 100 minutes for free to give it a whirl. And I love the filtering. I mean, we could spend a whole 30 minutes or longer talking about all of the different features, but I mean, understand that it's super easy to navigate. They make it very easy to find people that have they call them ambassadors. So it's like people that have been there before and kind of help you. Like, hey, here's she's the chief ambassador. I'm not sure if that's your official term, but she's probably one of the first ones that'll end up calling you, and she'll say, hey, make sure that you do this on your profile and do this, and she gives you all of the tips and tricks that she's learned through the years. It's super welcoming and friendly. They've got weekly webinars that kind of give you some more tips and tricks, and they give you some more credits to kind of use the platform. So I cannot promote it and encourage people enough to check it out because it's phenomenal. There's nothing out there like this, not even close. I can't think of anything that's even remotely close. Can you?
I cannot. And again, it's been a life changer for me. And I am officially a power user because as of today, I have the highest call volume on the platform.
I do not
That
doubt
could
that.
change. So I said, as of today, I have the highest call on the platform because it truly has been a game
Mhm.
changer for me.
Right. And I mean, just for, and I'm going to shift this back to you and get some more kind of success stories around that. But had I not seen that advertisement or whatever it was. I can't even remember honestly how I first got into it. Doesn't really matter at this point. But you and I would not have met. You and I have had lots of great conversations. You're obviously here on the podcast, which I think this is going to be a great episode for people to learn lots of different things. But you never know the power of one conversation and one connection, and this gives you opportunity to have many, many of those. So it's wonderful.
I agree. And it's the power of one call. And I just did a quick 30-second video on this because I moved from sunny California to
Hmm.
Asheville, North Carolina. And it all started with one call on OWL.
Really? Wow, I didn't know that story. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Well, give us a couple other, and I'm sure you can rattle off so many just because you had so many calls with folks. Let's do what's kind of the most either funny or interesting story, and then one of the most amazing success stories from an owl call.
Well, the success story was two people meeting on OWL for the first time and then going off and doing a joint webinar and doing $60,000
Okay.
in revenue. So I think that's a huge, huge success. But also the partnerships, the power partners, and how people have come together, and because they had similar skill sets, and they
Hmm.
have gone off to do work together.
Hmm.
Referral partners, they became referral partners. So, but also, just to be honest, the relationships, the
Hmm.
friendships that I've built on the platform, because now I feel that I can go anywhere be in the United States and or Canada, and I have
Hmm.
people to visit, and
It's
it all
true.
started with one call.
Right, right. I love it.
So we don't want to overthink it. All I can say to you, whether it's joining out, but it's also a phenomenal place. Let's just go back to networking, right?
Yes.
Building those relationships. It doesn't matter what you do, whether you have, a 9 to 5, it doesn't really matter. This is a great platform for you to expand your network, build those relationships, because and again, but that could lead to that potential. Maybe you're thinking about switching careers, maybe you're
Hmm.
thinking about doing something on a part-time basis. You're going to have those conversations on OWL that are going to facilitate just that. We
So
should be
that's
spokespersons for for OWL.
exactly. Which is kind of the third leg of the stool or whatever that we wanted to talk about is the importance of networking and the um I don't know. I mean for what it's worth, I think that at this point with things being so saturated and just so inundated, kind of the need and the necessity to be able to stand out and be a little bit different is part of that. So I guess you just give me your 101 on the importance of networking and how you've networked and see that working out for you.
And Andy, I don't think we talked to. So I am a recovering networking queen. Once
Okay,
upon a time,
recovering.
recovering. Once
Mhm.
upon a time, I used to attend 20 to 25 online networking events. There was a reason for that. You can call me on now, and we can talk about that all you want. But what I have found throughout this time is, or if you want to call me up, and I'll be happy to share some of the networking events.
Mhm.
Um, Bring something to the table. Two
Mm.
things: bring
Okay.
something to share, right? Because when I talk about, it doesn't matter whoever you meet, what can you share? So come from a place of what can I give? What resource can you have? Do you have to share? Which is important. I have a list. Is it a book? Is it a podcast? Is it another networking event? Is it I'll bring something that you can share? And what is the intention for this networking event? Right? And stay away from I need to make a sale. I'm not saying that we don't have to have that in mind, but go for a bigger picture, right?
Yeah.
Instead of saying, oh, I'm going to sell Andy this widget that I know he needs. What about if I say, Andy, have this phenomenal widget. It's for women 35 to 45. Who do you know that can benefit? That
Mm-hmm.
is $100,000
Yep.
close, right? What are your intentions? What is it? What do you want to walk away with? And I already said it, recovering networking queen. Once upon a time, I had over 30 one-on-one calls from a 3-day event. I don't do that anymore. So I
Wow.
want you to learn from me. Now
Hmm.
my approach is I go show up to the networking event, and my intention is to connect,
Mm.
to 2 to 3 people that resonate with, right? Whether they have an interesting story, they have an interesting career. So I maxed out because that helps me stay accountable. 3 people that I find interesting that I believe I can add value to. Do I always stick to that? No, I'm not gonna lie. I'm just
Because
saying.
you are still recovering, right?
But my intention is,
Yeah.
right, it's like connect, connect to 2 to 3 people,
Mhm.
right? And continue the conversation from there. Right.
Yeah.
Don't connect with that 30 people. That was not pretty. That
Mhm.
was I burnt out after that. But have the intention, have a list of things you can share. What's the intention? Who do you want to meet? Do you want to maybe
Mhm.
find a mentor?
Yeah.
Are you looking for a resource? Are you looking to do something faster within your business? Be intentional about
Mhm.
what do you want to get out of this networking event. And it could change. That's a beautiful
Mhm.
thing. If you go to 5 different events in 1 month, which
Mhm.
is what my coach has maxed me out at, the what's the intention? The intention could be different for each event, but set the intention. What do you want to do?
Right.
What do you want to achieve? Make it easy on yourself.
Yeah. No,
And call
that's
me on Al for more tips.
exactly. That's the most important thing is once you get your $10 in free credits, make Chella your first call and I can be your second call.
There you go.
There we
Or
go.
vice versa. Whoever's there,
Yeah.
whoever happens to be there, because between the 2 of us, we're going to give you the plan on how you can use Al to set up no matter what that is for you.
Yep. I wanted to throw one more thing out here because this is another just interesting thing or another if there wasn't enough interesting ways to do this or reasons to do this. Owl makes it so easy to get reviews, which if you've been in business for any length of time, it is not easy to get reviews. So at the end of every call, it pops up on the screen, hey, 1 to 5 stars, what do you think? And then just a little message. That's kind of the culture of the app is that everybody wants to leave, messages. I'm sure that there's been sometimes, I don't know if I've ever done less than like 4 stars. I mean, most of mine are just they're good, genuine people that are trying to connect with folks, and doesn't mean that I'm going to call all of them back. But they're all, for 10 minutes, it's always been a really great conversation. Jen Hardy was also on the podcast. I need to get Loyalty on here as well. There's just amazing people. So whether you're using another app or not, I think this is one of the most unique ones, to my point earlier. And like I said, Chella and I will be your guides to
Yep.
walk you through the process.
90% of the people on Al leave a review.
Wow, there you go. So there
So
you go.
yes, and you now you can take that. The last tip is you can take that review, you do a screenshot, and you're able to post it on your social media, and it's
Right.
going to invite other people to reach out to you and have that conversation. So it can be used in so many different ways.
Right. Exactly right. Exactly right. Well, Chella, I knew that we were going to not be able to fit everything in. So we're going to have to pick this conversation up at a later time, and we can choose 2 or 3 other fun things that we like to talk about. But to to kind of wrap up this round of things, I would love to ask you my 3 key questions just because everyone has such unique answers. So let's start off with the
Yes.
first one. Who is who is a leader that you most admire and try to emulate?
Ooh, God. Well, she is the leader in her own, but I'm going to go with my grandma
Okay, love it. Tell me why.
because she was wise. She kind of walked to her own tune and she took everybody she always saw somebody positive in everybody.
Hmm,
And she did not care what other people thought of her. She was a rock star.
love it. That's an important aspect. I think we often put way too much weight on what other people think about or whether they do or don't, right? Didn't care what others thought.
Yeah. She was a duck. She just allowed things to roll off her. Duck. That's how it just,
I
she
love
was
it.
brilliant. Very
Very good.
strong, powerful woman.
Wonderful. How about question number 2? What learning you seem to be someone that is constantly learning from people and you've got that growth mindset. What learning has most impacted you in the last year?
Uh, Learning was to stop complicating things.
Okay. All right. How have you
Be in
accomplished
flow,
that?
right? To if it feels complicated, right? I don't have to know the whole answer. If I'm going to start a new
Mm-hmm.
project, I don't need to know the A through Z. It's
Mm-hmm.
okay to start even if I just have A, B, and C. So don't have to have the whole picture. And that has been huge for me this year. Just start where you are and take the next step. Take the next
Love
step will be key for me. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. My grandpa is one of the wisest people that I know, and we were sitting in a Sunday school class one time, and we were talking about God's direction and will for our life and this kind of stuff. And he said, when you are in a car and you have your GPS on, the GPS does not give you the next 12 steps. It gives you the next one. And I thought that was so brilliant. It's like, yes, because it would be overwhelming if it did give you 12, right? And then what does it do when you miss it? It recalculates and it gives you the next one step for you to think about because we got too many things on our head of this kind of stuff. So stop overcomplicating things, take the next best step, and then the journey will continue on and the next best step will display itself.
I love that.
So
I'm gonna steal that. I'm gonna borrow that.
there you go. Leroy, in case you need to know. Grandpa Leroy.
Leroy, I'm gonna
There you
give
go.
credit to Leroy.
That's
Yes.
I wouldn't say this to very many people. Like, sounds like a black name. I promise he's not black. Grandpa Leroy. I love it. All right, here we go. Last one. How would you empower learning for future generations?
Make it fun. Make it a
Hey,
game.
that was
Make
quick.
make it fun. Make it a game. And I'm not just saying that because I have created such a game. But you gotta make it. You gotta meet them where they are,
Hmm.
truly, right? And that for me has been a huge lesson because just because I knew and just because I bought the car 17, the house, other people didn't.
Hmm.
Right. So it's that comparison. It's where are they? Really take the time to be curious. Where are they? And what do they need next?
Hmm. Hmm.
Right. Because just because I wanted them to get to Q or L or M, that doesn't mean they want to get there. Right. They may be just happy making it to D, to
Hmm.
step 5, whatever that may be for them. So come from a place of being curious, know where
Hmm.
they are, and know where they want to go to, because that's the only way we're honoring their wishes, not what I want them to have, or especially as parents, right? We
Yes.
want future,
Yes.
and so that's what I've learned as parents. It's just where do they want, where they want to
Hmm.
go to, and really being there to assist them with those tools.
Yep. All right. Well, that last one felt
Fabulous.
felt like a direct shot to me. Yes, I am still working on that as well. Uh, I have such visions for my boys, and I need to remind myself that it doesn't matter what I think or what I want. It's what they want, and we're just there to support them. So good stuff. Thank you very much for that. Oh,
I
Chella,
love
this has
it.
been so much fun. I knew that we'd have a blast on our conversation here, but you delivered more than I could have ever wanted. So thank you so
Oh,
much.
I appreciate you, and I am honored to have been here, and I look forward to having future conversations on Al.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We'll talk to you on Al. Thank you very much.
Okay,
Have a great
my
day. Take
pleasure.
care. See ya.
Bye bye.
Thanks so much to Chella Diaz for sharing her wisdom and walking us through a new way of seeing money, not just as math, but as meaning. If this episode sparked something for you, share it with a friend and leave us a review. Remember, wealth isn't just about what you earn, it's about what you're becoming. See you next time on the Empowered Learning Podcast.